zero. We make everything look good, including being overweight. So, scientifically, you cannot drink alkaline water and it makes your cells alkalytic. The closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be.
Happy Saturday, everyone. I am Carolyn, and you are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. We are live streaming on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we are on Instagram. Again, thank you all so much for joining us here today. Go ahead and get some shares out so we can have others be a part of the conversation. As always, we have a great show lined up for you, so please go ahead and click those share buttons, get people in here so they can be a part of the conversation. What will we be discussing today? Is your blood oxygen level normal? Also, top four criterias for a quality nootropic supplement. Most poisonous food in the world. Also, last but not least, what to eat when there's no food left. So, great topics. Dr. Zarif, if you can go ahead and join me here on stage so we can get started. Hello, hello, how are you?
Hello, Carolyn. It's good to see you, and we are grateful for being here with everyone else. We would love to have you get more people to join us because we're reaching out to everybody. We want you to wake them up, or shake them up. Touch bases with them, text them, and let's get into some of the things that we know that are now helping people to make better decisions.
Yes, absolutely. Good morning, Grand Rising to you, Shirley Gentle Smart in the house. Hello, hello.
Woohoo! Want to say hello to everybody
It's me.
that's here this morning, and really appreciate you for being here. We celebrate this. We celebrate you every week because without you, this wouldn't make any sense. So we're going to go ahead and get started because you know how fast this time goes. Okay. So we'll be just talking about how pretty much can you take the knowledge that you have, the nutritional knowledge, and then take action. And that's what's really very important. Taking action on what you know. It doesn't matter if you have all of it. Oh, you learned this and that. And I see how even our teachers and leaders and activists, they lead with the very exciting part of nutrition science. But when it comes down to it, I want to know, how are we saving lives? How are we making it better? You see, because one of the things that we know for sure is that when we eat a certain way, what happens is that we also um, we make certain choices, and when we make those certain choices, they if they're not choices that's going to reduce the risk of disease and infection, then what are we talking about? Because you can eat, bush meat, or you can eat the different types of processed meat, lunch meats, delicatessen meats, all of those different types of foods, and from different prepared in different ways, and things that we've been eating for a lifetime, all our lives, and we still find that we're getting sick, that we're still getting cancer. So let's keep our minds on, why are you here today, and what are the differences that you're going to make from the eating states that you're in. So some of the eating states, let's look over that, because you might not know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about eating states. One is hunger. Hunger is the state that is characterized by a physical sensation prompting the need for food. This state is characterized by a physical sensation prompting the need for food. that is a very, very vulnerable state. It can be influenced by various factors, such as time since the last time you had a meal, physical activity, and metabolic needs. So this is when we're in a state of hunger. A state of satiety is another eating state, and satiety occurs when the body feels satisfied after eating and indicating that enough food has been consumed. Now, this state helps regulate food intake, and it can vary based on the type of food eaten. So if you eat a lot of oily foods or fried foods or sweet foods or salty foods, all of those will have a different use and a different way that they satisfy the body. Next is cravings. Now, cravings are sometimes we get those mixed up with addictions, but next we have cravings, and cravings are, well, they're intense desires for specific foods, often driven by this emotional or psychological factors rather than the physical hunger. They can be influenced by stress and mood and environmental cues. You will hear emotional eating, for instance. And when we talk about emotional eating, this is after an argument when a person is looking for some kind of resolution to make them feel better. They'll use food as the therapy, or if they're depressed, they're just had a breakup and they're sitting down on the couch and eating a big tub of ice cream, looking for again that euphoria, that satisfaction. Let's talk about boredom eating. Boredom eating, as with all the ones that we just read, the hunger and the satiety and the craving. Well, boredom eating, this state involves eating out of boredom rather than hunger. So this is a substitute or a surrogate that is in place in case things don't go the way that we want them sometimes. It often occurs when individuals seek comfort of distraction, leading to mindless snacking on and on and on. You ever seen anybody snack on pistachios? And those pistachios are a big heel of the hull, and for quite a while, a person just eats until they're mindless about it. And then once they stop there, it looks like a four people just made a whole heel of those shells. Now, emotional eating, as I just mentioned earlier, the emotional eating refers to consuming foods in response to feelings such as stress and sadness and happiness. So that's, pretty much repeating myself. Um, it can lead to overeating, and it can lead to unhealthy choices. And when you do overeat can make you sick in itself, because what happens as you bombard the actual functions of your internal body, and that can be very hurtful to or deleterious to the inside, your internal functioning. And then you heard of mindful eating, which is pretty popular now. In the last 6 years, it's become more and more popular. But the mindful eating just simply means that it's a practice of being fully present during your eating your meals, focusing on the experience of eating, and recognizing hunger and satiety cues. Now, this approach, it promotes healthier eating habits, and it can enhance enjoyment of food. So these are some of the different states of eating, the eating states of being, hunger, satiety, cravings, boredom eating, and emotional eating, along with the mindful eating. So in that, what we do is we go right into the some of the things that we should be aware of that can help us to be in a higher state of being. We definitely don't want to be in a survival state. Survival state means that you eat anything at any time and you don't have any discretion about what you're putting in your body. You don't make a choice based on your knowledge. You make a choice based on the state that you feel that you're in. In this case, we're talking about when a person is hungry, or when that's on the severe side. But the before you are severely hungry, you do go through other states. So you have an appetite, you become hungry. Hunger can go to the point where it's severe and a person isn't eating anything, and they don't have any food. And then you have people that are not only hungry, but they are people that are dying from not eating enough. And this is when you see the body changes, the hunger that you see before you is just really pitiful. Just like we have in the states of war today, it's very hard to watch those children. So what we want to do is just talk about one of the things to help keep you balanced, and that is the normal blood oxygen levels. What to know about it is that the oxygen is essential to the body, and it plays a vital role in everything from optimal organ function to providing energy to the cells. Now, oxygen is carried through the blood streams by protein. This protein is called hemoglobin. I'm sure you heard of that, which is found inside red blood cells. Now, when a person inhales, oxygen enters the lungs and passes into the bloodstream where it binds with the hemoglobin. Now, the cells in our body depends on oxygen to function appropriately. Oxygen supports the immune system and ultimately keeps you healthy. So it's very important to know this, and you've probably seen these on oximeters. That little, here it is right here. You see that? You might see that in the nurses will put that on your finger to get certain reads, and you will find that it becomes very useful. Now, we're going to stay on task with this. What are the normal blood oxygen levels? This, of course, that's probably the next thing you want to know. The blood oxygen levels, these levels measure the amounts of oxygen in the blood. Now, normal oxygen saturation levels, they vary slightly from person to person, but they generally range between 95% and 100%. Now, the normal oxygen saturation is generally at the above 95%. The oxygen, or the normal oxygen saturation rate, also is measured at rest. So the normal oxygen saturation is usually at 95% at rest. A blood oxygen saturation within 95% and 100% typically indicates proper lung function. Now, when it starts dropping below that, then there's a concern. Why aren't you getting enough or using a larger percentage of your lungs? Now, it can also indicate that the oxygen levels in other parts of the body, like your organs and your tissues, are optimal as well. So, low oxygen in the blood is referred to hypoxemia. this is very, remember when you hear that suffix of the prefix hypo, is usually referring to low. Hyper is referring to high. While the inadequate oxygen in the tissues are called hypoxia. And you've heard hypoxia when a person, for instance, is fighting a fire, the things that the wonderful um, firefighters do that put their lives out on the line. And while the inadequate oxygen, because of the smoke and because of the soot, it can definitely cause hypoxia. So we keep going because this is really a very important subject to stop every once in a while, stop and find out, like, why should I be happy about? Why should I have value? Why should I be eating a healthier diet? And we know we're up against TV, and we're up against um, all kinds of entertainment. I don't want to put any shade on anybody that's feeding their family with what they're doing, but I'm talking about we need to make better decisions, not because we don't have other decisions, but because we know more and we know better. Now, what causes the low blood oxygen levels? According to experts, the low oxygen or blood oxygen levels are typically a result of ventilation issues. And those ventilation issues are actually caused by some type of lung disease or perfusion. A perfusion is when the oxygen is transferred to the blood from the lungs and from the blood to the tissues. Now, low blood oxygen levels can be a sign of various issues, including chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. You probably heard of that as COPD. And then there is asthma and cystic fibrosis. There's also certain lung diseases such as pulmonary fibrosis and pulmonary hypertension. Viral and bacteria infections like pneumonia and bronchitis may also cause blood oxygen levels to decrease. This is why doctors make a big thing out of the infection of the lungs, like pneumonia, for instance, and bronchitis, the inflammation of your lungs, where you cannot do what you usually do, or when you are healthier. In some cases, the underlying heart disease may also be responsible for low oxygen levels at a tissue level. Let's look at heart failure, for instance. Heart failure is a condition in which the heart cannot pump enough oxygen to the body. That's why we have to take care of it. And many times when we don't take that walk, when we don't get in the pool and do your exercises in the pool, when you don't do your hike and all of these things. I have friends that do hiking now. Shout out to Jana and her group over in Lancaster. And there are other people that swim. Shout out to Charles and Beverly. Swimming is their thing, aqua aerobics and all those people that take time to move the body and not to be still and go on not moving for day after day, month after month, and then year after year. Now, let's talk a little bit about how you measure your blood oxygen levels. Blood oxygen levels can be measured using several methods, and some which can be done at home. And that's the really good thing about it. A pulse oximetry, the pulse oximetry is the pulse is the same thing as the heart rate. So this is the heart rate when you are also measuring the oxygen. Pulse oximetry is the most common test used to measure blood oxygen levels. And that again is the blood or the oxygen in the blood. Now, the test uses a device and it's called a pulse oximeter. I'm going to say this and break it down. The oximeter, you can say oximeter. So the pulse oximeter is a pulse oximeter. And the oxy, of course, is the oxygen, and meter is the way it's been. It stands for measure or testing that clips onto a person's finger, and it actually emits light at two different wavelengths, infrared and red. And these are measurements such as the oxygen saturation in the blood. And this gives the doctor or the person that is using the oximeter a easier way to and a more accurate way to measure how much oxygen is in the blood. The results of the pulse oximetry test, it also provides an instant reading on the amount of blood in the bloodstream and other vital signs like your heart rate. So keep that in mind because we're still talking about pulse oximetry. The result of pulse oximetry tests that actually provide an instant reading on the amount of oxygen in your bloodstream and other vital signs like your heart rate. However, the false positives and false negatives are possible. Now, a false positive means when you called it or someone calls it a positive and it isn't. And a false negative is when a person calls it a a positive and it's actually it calls it a negative and it's actually positive. Okay, a little confusing, but again, using the language over and over it would definitely help you to become more comfortable with it. Wearing nail polish, having darker skin pigmentation, and moving while taking the test, all of these can lead to less accurate results while using the pulse oximeter. Okay. Now, what we do is we're on our way to talking more about the arterial blood gas, and these are just another way to test how the arterial blood gas is just a test that uses a blood sample from the artery or the vein to measure the blood oxygen levels. The venous blood gas or the VBG is a blood sample that's taken from a vein to measure the blood oxygen levels. However, this test is less accurate than the ABG, according to experts. And the ABG test, which is performed by a medical professional, typically in the setting of a hospital emergency room or intensive care unit, ICU, is more accurate than the pulse oximetry, and it provides additional information about carbon dioxide levels. Now, you know that we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out what? Carbon dioxide. And it also has effect on our pH and our bicarbonate. Bicarbonate is HCO3, and those levels are all tested in our in the bloodstream. The results of the test are generated in the lab. And it looks like this. You have a needle, and that needle actually put into one of your veins or your arteries in the body, and this is how that test is actually taken. Okay, I'm going to stop for right now. We're going to go to the wonderful Care and see how we do. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. Really do appreciate it. Again, thank you to everyone that's joined us here today. Just going to give some quick shout outs here. Let's see. Denise Kane. Hey, good morning to you.
Hey, Denise.
for joining us here today in the Mind of Nature. We also have Dr. James Thompson. Good morning to you as well.
James.
Hello, hello. Good to see you. And also Allison Gentle. Hey, hey, hey. Good morning to you, Dad.
Hey. Hey, it's good to all right, Mr.
Great,
Jensen.
great to see you. Um, just great information. Just for everyone know, here now, we are streaming on Facebook, we are streaming on YouTube, and on Instagram. Please go ahead and give us the thumbs up wherever you are. If it's Facebook, if it's on YouTube, Instagram, and go ahead and just share, get the information out there so we can have others be a part of the conversation. It really is appreciated. Yes, Dr. Zari.
I wanted to also, um, uh, I want to again let you know that Dr. James has a new book out. Check him out. I think the contact here is fearlessmd12.com. That's what I saw on one of Dr. James' videos, which is great. The one in Culver City. That was fantastic. And I also like Dr. James, your tape, your video on when you're you limited by your space, then what you can do is that you can move around and place to place. It was showing just little jogs. That's so important because so many people use an excuse. I didn't have enough room. It's not enough room here. I needed the gym. The gym was closed. All of that, and then you make this wonderful video that just simply is telling people, look, you need to find a way, not an excuse. So thank you for that. Again, for those of you that want to just tune in, I say not just that want to, you should anyway. FearlessMD12.com. Check it out. That's Dr. James Thompson. Had a beautiful time with Dr. James Thompson and his wonderful brother, Noel. And it was a great time and wow, what gentlemen, what and brilliant gentlemen, I should also say too. Very, we had a lot of fun there. We also uh, noticed that Dr. James is built like a rock. I mean, his body is slender. He's got, he's muscular, and I say this because is these so many of us. It's like it's another brother that I think his background is pharmacy, and that brother is gosh, I need to, but you can check him out. He's on Instagram, and he's really exciting. He also, you can tell that he works out. He's in motion, and I love to see that because before and even right now, some people think in order for you to know more about health, you got to have this long beard and you got to have your hair all the way down to the floor, some kind of design or something. You got to. I remember it was. I won't even say the name of the film, but I was uh, suggested to audition for this part of a scientist in nutrition, and so I did. But everything was great, but I didn't. I should have had a beard, and I'm like, can I just put on this Hollywood? Can't I just buy a beard and put it on? But that's it's anyway. That was that. I was glad that the brothers now are working out. Like I feel good when someone compliments me about how my body is built and that they can tell how fit I am, and I want to pass on the compliment to those wonderful brothers. And
Dr.
yes.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, Dr. James, his comment was really, that would be you, Dr. Z.
Oh, thank you very much, brother. That's it's so cool when I look at Dr. James, like looking in the mirrors, like two brothers taking care of themselves. We got a lot of stuff to do too, so I'm really looking forward to it, y'all. So remember,
Absolutely.
check him out, Dr. James, fearlessmd12.com. and this is going to be great. If it's something different than that, Dr. James, just leave it in the comments, and we'll definitely get that out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and continue, if we
I
will.
just
Before
want
we say, let's go over to let's check and see here. And I want to do a shout out to the wonderful Ruth Taylor. She's on the Instagram
on
and
Instagram.
Diamond Productions. And I will come back to that later. I just wanted to say hello to a couple of folks that I know.
Also,
Okay,
a quick
so
shout out as well to James Norman since he's right here, Dr.
hey,
Zarif and Sister Carolyn. Hello, hello to you.
uh,
He usually catches the replay, so it's great that he's here during the live. So I had to give you a shout out, James.
oh yeah. All right, James. James, I'll see you in Detroit. I'll be in Detroit September the 10th through September the 13th. Okay. Well, I'm still waiting to get the addresses and the times of the venues. So stay tuned. You can also get in contact with Chief Payamba and Wally Mu. He has more information. Also, Bonita Griffin. And who else? Let me see. Michael Carlisle is, I don't know if Michael has it yet, but anyway, look at those people, and Joe Norman, and then you also have Yolanda Rogers. So all of these are people that are in the know when it comes to coming together. We're going to get together with the House of Pi there. So the Ninja Karate and Health Club is going to merge with the House of Pi, and we're going to have a great time. We've known each other ever since we've been youngsters,
Hmm.
uh, and I mean youngsters, real early teens, like 11, 14, we're in there. Wow, that's a long time. So I'm very, very glad to announce that. So let's get back to it over here. Um, one of the things I wanted to go right into is the helpfulness and what's to come. Now, when it comes to wellness, each year brings a new slate of trends, and as many of the individuals actually just attempt to hack their health with the hopes of feeling their best. And I'd just like to say right off is that if you're hoping to feel better, if you're hoping to eat better, if you're hoping to work out, hope does not have a strategy, man. You got to do it or you're not going to do it. Don't stop the madness with that. Okay, let's get in here and talk a little bit about the plants. As you see in here, there are many, many plants. Um, and these plants that we see here, these are the different types of lettuces. And you got kale over here, you got red lettuce, you got, and this is really, really beautiful. And I think these are collard greens. But the plants are still very important. When it came to nutrition in 2023, plants were the priority, and they're pretty much the priority now. They're really, really huge. Meanwhile, on plant-based recipes, they actually that's hashtag plant-based recipes racked up with 200 million views over the past. So the we need to over the past year, and we need to do still eat more plants because we're still dying, not as fast as we were before, thanks to all the activists and people that are stepping up their game about a lot botany and horticulture and just the plant-based foods in general. Now, experts they expect plant-based foods will continue to be popular in 2025 this year. But people may be getting just a little pickier because um, of the mostly of the fake meats like Beyond and Impossible will all of these will lose their appeal and more people will perceive them to be ultra processed foods. Still, some of the experts note that the synthetic meat industry will continue to claim its stake in the plant-based trend. The food processors and the synthetic biology industries they continue to conjure ways to promote sustainable plant-based meat mimicking products, including fish mimicking products, where the nutrition science community remains skeptical and conflicted over some of the science over these products. Rather, marketing the efforts are seizing the moment to appeal to trends in the plant-based approaches popularized by some of the media. And these are people that usually talk about some of the plant foods, and it takes, uh, well, I should finish that, talks about some of the plant foods in an unhealthy way. There is a lot of progress being made when it comes to plant-based products. And those things are necessary because people will just, bottom line, get very, very bored. And when they get bored, of course, they want a change. Where the nutrition science community remains skeptical, they are also very conflicted over some of the products, marketing efforts, and seizing the moment to appeal to the trends of plant-based approaches popularized by media, including newspapers, all kinds of advertising. So it's nothing new there. But what you have to do is what we talked about from the beginning: get yourself out of that state. The state that I'm talking about is what? Survival state. This is in survival state. That's when you have people that are eating dogs. Survival state. This is when you have people eating bush animals. Survival state is when you have people that are eating chitlins, or three pas. When you have people that are eating all these different types of food just for the heck of it, and they're eating piles of food, just packing and plate. And you have a lot of the, look at the different influencers that just buy hundreds of dollars worth of food, put it in front of them just to taste it, and have people watch them eat as they eat. And this is met with or mixed with already the lack of discipline in eating. And when you see that, that's really hard to look at, especially when people have these different ideas of what being full and satisfied is. Now let's get along though. We talked about the cruciferous. This right here also, you have lutein, you have chlorophyll, you have the fiber. You also have in these particular foods, you also have the plant oils, which are the different oils that come from plants. Now you probably say, I didn't know oil come from plants. And right away, I want you to go to olives. Okay, phytosterols, which are the same thing as plant oils. You have all these phytosterols that you find, and you also have what are called galactolipids. And galactolipids are some of the oils that you will find in the plants that will help to reduce the risk of hypertension, and they're also a great anti-inflammatory. It's just really so many wonderful things, and so many varieties, and so many choices, and so many benefits when it comes to eating plants. So fill up on those plants, okay? No matter where you are and what you're doing. A lot of us, like, how it feels like when you're out, at home, you always say grace, or you say, I'm blessing my food. But then when you go out, although this is what I do, and I'll give you an antidote for it, but nobody else is stopping to say prayer. You just go right into eating. Well, for those of you that have that kind of situation, remember, you don't have to say it aloud. You don't have to say it out loud. It doesn't have to be audible. You can think it, and you connect with omniscience and the omnipresence. And that is why it's so important to know that you got choices, you got chances, you got options, you have and different variations. We go on to protein. Now, the protein here, that's one of the things that is always a question there. Where are you going to get your protein? Well, the macronutrient protein is actually proved to be popular in 2023. And in fact, the TikTok data shows that hashtag high protein scored a whopping 2 billion US views over the last 12 months. Indeed, the majority of Forbes Health Advisory Board members who provided their predictions noted the popularity of protein isn't going away anytime soon. So, particularly the plant-based picks. Now, interest in the plant-based proteins and the promotion marketing of the associated products will continue to rise as more people choose foods for sustainability. And again, back to the protein, which protein would be found in some of the impossible foods and the other foods like that. The Again, changing from being bored into something else that you can eat. It doesn't mean that you'll be eating this on a daily basis, but it means that you'll have choice when you do eat it. Okay, so and be glad for it. Lastly, while food is changing, there are many that become addicts to the unhealthful food. Many people will still be hyper fixated on protein despite consuming excessive amounts. Now, if we overdo it with the protein, I mean severely overdo it, that overdoing it with the protein can cause the human body to produce ammonia. And that is definitely, that you definitely don't want ammonia in your body because it is highly toxic to the body. And while the plant based protein powders are okay, we continue to look at the increased consumption of whole food, plant based proteins like nuts and seeds, legumes, which also provide fiber. And we still have a problem. There's still 9 out of 10, every 9 out of 10 people have some digestive disorder. So it's not going away just because you don't hear about it. Be sure to find out more and more about it as we continue to learn, ask questions about it, do some research on it, because you cannot replace a digestive system. You can't do it, not yet anyway. So take care of yourself in that way. Have the knowledge to know that eating in a certain way will cause you to have digestive disorders, or eating in a certain way, you can also have very healthfulness when it comes to the food and the choices that you make. Okay, all right. So it's time to go to our next subject, and before we do that, we're going to bring up care.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. I'm glad you mentioned overdoing protein because I think you do see some people sometimes they feel like they have to load on all this meat or, all this protein, especially those like the guys who are bulking up and, things like that.
Yeah.
So but I didn't know that it can cause you said
Ammonia, yeah, ammonia, and this is when a person is just when they're severely over the amount. We only need, like men need only about 58 grams of protein per day, no more than 58 grams, and a woman uses about 48 grams of protein a day. Just so that you will be able to balance it out. Just think of a gram as a weight of a paper clip, and 58 of those paper clips is still really light, right? So it's not a whole lot. That is what the human body is good with as far as just the regular activities that a man goes through on a daily basis. However, those men that are and women that are now using a lot of the muscularity to be a form of this is how they make their money, their livelihood.
Hmm.
But every year, every year there is a list of people that are doing bodybuilding, unfortunately, that pass away.
Mm.
And you will look back, especially in the year 2021. Wow, I remember every year I check it out, and it's and unfortunate that there's so many people that at one time they had the body for, woo, I mean, beautiful specimens for that art. It's an art form.
Hmm.
But what happens is when people overdo it, and then they're taking roids, they're on these steroids, and they're on other growth enhancement drugs. This will definitely compromise a person's health. So,
Right.
yeah, this is why it's important. Remember, for men and women. Go ahead, Karen.
Absolutely. I just wanted to give some shout outs just really fast to Yolanda Rogers. Good morning, Big Mama, Dearborn, Michigan. Thank you so much
Hey,
for joining us.
huh?
Always appreciate in such
What
a
up, though?
right. Great support. Tiffany Marie saying good morning from Texas. Thank you so much for joining
Hey,
us today, Tiffany. Great to see
Tiffany.
you. Glenn Johnson, beautiful information. Greetings. Thank you so much.
Oh, greeting.
Great to see you. Thank you for being here today. Darcel,
Thank you, Glenn Johnson. Glenn Johnson is one of the. Excuse me, I don't mean to crash in, but uh, I wanted to get Glenn Johnson is one of the most talented persons you'll ever meet. From
mhm,
singing to being a playwright to he's a black belt martial artist. He's on. I mean, he's incredible. He's worked with the Detroit police force. He's, I mean, this man is just brilliant all over. Great father. It's just incredible. So anyway, uh, the power fist to you, Glenn. Uh, keep up the good work. Keep up
big
the
up
good work.
Glenn.
I'm coming in town, and we're gonna have a beautiful time getting people together. Let's go ahead. Go ahead, Kara.
And now, just gonna another shout out. Good morning to you, Darcel. Thank you so much for joining us here again. Really appreciate it, Dr. Zarif. Back to you.
Okay, well, there's four criteria for a quality nootropic supplement, and like we spent months actually researching the nootropic supplements and gathering useful feedback. And there are specific ingredients that, when present in a formula, help to differentiate high quality nootropic supplement. So this is from um, the information nootropic from generic. That's the comparison that we making, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the essential ingredients to consider before deciding on nootropic brand is best, which one is best for our needs, and that is like really, when I'm thinking about that, it's just really something that we need to get into it, because when it comes to the um, uh, different nutrients, is so important to know your nutrients, because this way you can start thinking about, I'm not feeling good. Okay, your brain goes right to what? It goes to the cure. It goes to the management. It goes to the reduction of that particular experience. So it's good to learn more and more. Let's start off with choline. Now, choline is an essential nutrient crucial to producing the acetyl choline, which actually supports memory, learning concentration, and motor skills. And studies published in the Journal of Nutrition and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirm that low choline intake is tied to poorer cognitive performance, meaning that you'll have problems thinking and remembering and a long-term memory. Now, on the other hand, supplementing the choline into your daily regimen can help to improve memory, and it can help improve attention in healthy adults. Also, taking choline may help reduce the changes in the brain associated with aging and memory loss and support enhanced cognitive function in elderly adults. So this again you will find in these various foods here in choline, and you see the broccoli, and you see the baby spinach, and you see arugula, you see almonds, you see eggs, and you also see another dairy product. Now remember, what you see is dairy you can always get in non-dairy, and you can get the same, if not more, nutrients in those products. So, and less mucus buildup too. So remember, add that to it. Add that to your, and those people that cook like the wonderful Ruth Taylor, she one of the most incredibly talented people I've met. I mean, this woman is incredible, but she sews, and I mean, everything. She just incredible. So Ruth, bam, the fist right there. Uh, as I share with you, power to you. Keep up the good work. Let's go on. We talked about choline. Now there's the phosphatidylserine, and this is the phosphatidylserine serine is a phospholipid. The phospholipid is actually a fat, and when you hear these adipose or adipose tissue, adiposity, lipids, all of these are talking about fats, but we're talking about a phospholipid now, which is a nutrient found in the cerebral cortex, which covers and protects the brain cells, and it helps to carry the messages between them. Now, you've probably heard of dendrites and how the synapses and the connection between the brain cells. We'll get to that later, but we're in the neighborhood of that now. The normal aging process causes the brain cells membranes to become rigid and impairing the brain cell communication, which results in memory recall issues. So, like for the end here, I'm going to give you three words, and I want you to say these write them in at the end. The one word is consciousness. Consciousness is the first word, and then the next word is uh, belief, and then we want to go to another word, and that's sabotage. Okay, so you got three words, and if you can do it, if you cheat, that's you just don't do it any good. But see if you can remember this: consciousness, belief, and sabotage. Consciousness, belief, and sabotage. And at the end of our presentation, we're going to see how many people remember that. Got it? What are those words? Consciousness, belief, and sabotage. And this is a part of of course, your short memory. In both middle-aged and older adults, we have these problems. So don't think it's something that you have to get old to get. And remember, it's about getting older, not old. Old is just a state of being from aging, but older is as you age, you also take in more or increase your wisdom, your knowledge, your sharing, the things that you can add to other people's lives. Okay, let's go on next. This is the phosphatidylserine, and some of the things in these uh, foods, not just these little cherry tomatoes, but there's something like sleeping better and reducing your anxiety and clear focus. This just comes out of some of the foods that we eat. So when you're out and you're eating, you might not, you might even get some chicken. I'm just saying, I'm just being real. Chicken. Everybody isn't going to be the angel eater when they go in these places. But you can select some of the foods, even sometimes the decorations of the food can be as healthy as what you're eating for your main dish. Okay, next we have bacopa. And now Copopa moneri is an herb that actually is used for century in the Ayurvedic medicine. And the numerous clinical studies that have been found that the bacopa enhances memory retention and it improves spatial learning. You should remember this, bacopa monterey. And this, like, bacopa monterey is so important when it comes to learning. And we know what's happening to our brains as we get older. So why not find out what we can do to offset what may be very natural? The ability to take in new information in about one's environment or the reduction of stress. All of this you can get from the bacopa. So keep that in mind. It also increases the length of the branching of nerve cells. So it keeps the nerve activity moving and not just stuck in one size. It continues to be growth there and development. Also, these different branches, as I said earlier, these nerve cells that are making connections, they're also known as dendrites, as I was mentioning, and these dendrites in the brain, which is linked to learning and memory. It happens. You heard people say things like, "Wow, when you're young, you're going to a school and you learn more because you're young." Well, anything that you keep up as a habit will help you to be able to give yourself those signals and to hold on to those things that you've been doing for a while. Practice makes what? It makes automatic. So that is super important. The main active compounds in bacopa are the bocosides. The so the You will hear people. I don't like it when they say the bako. They'll say bako, but it's okay as long as you get the idea. But bacosides or bacosides actually they actually fight the oxidative stress, a cause of disease and cognitive decline by acting as free radical scavenger. So vitamin D, vitamin A, D, E, and K, you definitely want those fat solubles. Those are very strong. All of those are strong antioxidants, along with vitamin E. Also is a strong anti a, the antioxidant, and that's something that you can definitely keep on your list of good things. Okay, we're almost there. Now, what I want to do, this right here, for instance, this is the bacopa right here. This is the plant, and now we're going to the huperzine A. Now, huperzine A is an extract of the Huperzia serrata plant. And it has been shown in the studies to improve your memory and learning from young students to seniors. And recent research shows that it improves memory and slows cognitive decline by increasing levels of the acetylcholine and I want to make sure I said that, again, increasing memory and slows cognitive decline by increasing levels of acetylcholine, the compound that functions as a neurotransmitter in the brain. Now, it's also been shown to help prevent neuronal cell death. Now, if you're not taking care of yourself, one of the things that we talked about some of the EFAs, the essential fatty acids, right? So, and we talked about also the different omega 3s, especially the omega 3s. And we talked about some of the plants that you can get that from. Now, the thing that we want you to do is to make sure that you're getting some of these oils and nutrients into your body because they're known to be studied and tested to improve your memory and slows your cognitive decline. So this is very, very important. There are 20 randomized clinical trials involving um, 1,823 participants that indicated that it has a beneficial effect on the memory and cognitive function and the quality of life. Okay, so you can start early. Whatever age you are now, you can start now. A lot of people don't like the idea that they're getting old, but they say that God is in control of everything. So well, what you gonna do? Hold it against your God that you want to live longer and you're mad because you don't. So keep all those things in mind. You know, it's all beautiful. It's all perfect. You were born on time, and you're gonna leave on time. We all have expiration, but for now, today isn't that day. So let's move along. I want to show you how this looks right here. This is called the Hooperzine A. And look at that plant. That's how that looks. All right. I'm showing you all this because coming up, we're going to talk about the poisonous fruit in the world, the most poisonous fruit in the world. And a lot of it, if you don't know the way that it looks, you could be vulnerable or you could be exposed to a plant that could actually threaten your life. Okay, we're back up to care.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Zari. Great information. I do have a question here. I know the time is a ticking away. But first of all, I just want to just this comment by Yolanda Rogers says, at 66, enjoying my full ride. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Your age is so beautiful, and like, yeah, she uh, really, we're talking about Yolanda. She's just a cool. You got to experience her wonderful power of getting people together. This woman gets people together. I mean, a lot of people that came and that have come to listen to us, our audience. A lot of those people started off with the introduction of Yolanda Rogers introducing those people to us. And we really appreciate all of you and thank you, Yolanda. So that's a beautiful thing. How we doing here? We're looking at whoa.
I
Okay.
know. Just I know that's why I was like, oh, the time. But there is one question from Velma.
Okay.
Can you suggest any non-dairy products I can put in my decaf coffee that tastes good and not too bad health wise?
Yes, you can take the coconut milk creamer, the coconut milk creamer. And then they also have another creamer or just the coconut milk itself, which is pretty thick and creamy. And that is the coconut milk itself. So that's what I would recommend. And some of the taste, some like the almond milk and the different types of non-dairy milks, you may find that you like the taste and be creative or take a little time to be creative to put together or to mix the different fluids and see exactly if you like that. It might be better than the milk. But cow's milk is a big difference in cow's milk and the other dairy products. See, and it's not just because, somebody told me that, or I read about that, or that's what I teach, and they tell you that it's in the text. It's not about that. It's about the fact that a lot of the products, all of the dairy products come from animals. And the process of animals, when you're feeding all of the millions of people, let's just talk about the country, the United States in itself, that there is a high chance that those things that we eat that come from animals, including the animals themselves, could be infected, could have infection, could have different toxins because of what is shot up in those cows and what they feed them. There are a lot of cows that may even have sores or may be sick. And I'm not going to say that the farmers are ruthless when it comes to this. They have to feed their families, but they do have a list of things, the do's and the don'ts. And these different do's and don'ts, sometimes it will behoove you to know what they are so that you would know uh, whether or not you're going to pass on it or you go ahead and ingest it. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Zarif. Not Your Average Joe podcast. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey, man, what's going on? Big Joe.
Yes. He's asking, where do you get it from, Trader Joe's or Whole Foods?
Both. You can get a Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Sprouts, and Irvine's.
Oh, Irwines. That,
Mhm.
yes. Ruth Taylor. She came on over here from Instagram because Instagram already shut down at that time mark.
Oh,
But there was one question. I'm not sure if you if she had the question in there before, but she wanted to know how much protein was too much protein. And I
oh,
know you mentioned for males it was 58 is it grams,
yes,
and then for women 48 grams. Anything over that is too much, correct?
that is correct. That
Okay.
is correct. There you go. You just did it, Karen. You answered the question. That the over 48, unless like if there's a person, I would say there would be an exception to the rule for those people that are using that protein to grow muscle. So this is uh, the substance that is used best for muscle growth, would be the the protein. Is just when people overdo it. And then there's things that can happen like the different end stage kidney disease. There's also a strain on a lot of times when it comes to just the average person just having a regulated bowel movement, the constipation that happens, because usually all the meat offsets the use of the plants, and the plants, it's not enough plants to give the body enough fiber for a regulated bowel movement, meaning that it's soft, that it comes without a strain. It doesn't cause any hemorrhoids or polyps, and that's all of that is very important. So yeah, that's the answer there, Ruth. Anything over 48 grams of protein. If you're not like a person that's working out, then working out meaning, and I mean like those that heavy weights and their livelihood, feeding their family comes from staying in shape, and it's a business to them. Okay, and the same thing goes for people that actually are drinking things like those so-called sports drinks, and you're not working out at least 45 minutes of cardio. Then it's not, that's not going to work. That's just a thirst quencher. But in order to have that work for you, where your body is absorbing the nutrients, and that is definitely better than just having a pretty much just some some water, some colored water, and a sweetener. And I mean, they must the
Sugar water.
the what water?
I just called it sugar water.
Sugar, well, yeah, yeah, you have those kinds of things, right? And people are drinking them because they have their uh, different athletic stars that are drinking it. And it's like, oh, it must be good.
Hmm.
But you can count on one hand how many soda commercials you've seen from athletes, and it's been very few. Why? Because the carbonation, the effervescence, and the those things that the sugar and that combination, it also is known to make the bones brittle, especially with young people when they're drinking sodas. That's the wrong move to make. So that's the up that I give. That's the upside of those people that eating and that's drinking the sports drinks. The sports drinks are healthier for you because of them. If we're comparing them to sodas, do not drink the sodas.
Mm.
And that's all I'll say about that. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
so much, Dr. Zari. Let me see. Darcel, happy Labor Day weekend. Yes, happy Labor Day weekend to everyone. Really do appreciate that. Be safe out there.
And this is the 30th of August. I want to say happy, health and wellness month. We it's almost over now, but happy wellness month to everyone. I'm going to do this right fast, Carrie. I'm going to go ahead and go over a couple of things that are the most poisonous fruits in the world, and then we're going to get going.
Okay.
All right. Here we go right now. I'm going to start off with one of the things is yellow star fruit. The yellow star fruit is a sweet and sour fruit and is with edible skin and nutritional elements, and is low in calories, high in fiber, and is loaded with vitamin C. However, if you have any kidney problems, you might want to reconsider eating this fruit. The yellow star fruit contains high amounts of oxalates, oxalates that makes it dangerous for the people with kidney issues. Overeating or of it actually could cause kidney damage, seizures, and even death. So keep that in mind. And you've heard me talk about oxalates before. Just they come especially like in spinach, and they come in some other green leafy vegetables. And this is again the amount that a person is eating can be a huge difference as to how it affects the body. Oxalates also cause kidney stones. Okay, let's go ahead and go to elderberries. Now, elderberries, we really know this is popular because people actually make their own cough serum with it and soothing the throat. But elderberries, these are fruits that grow in small bush plants, and I'm going to show you shortly. These plants can be edible when fully ripened. It is divided into three varieties: black, blue, and red elderberries. However, the entire plant outside of the ripened cooked berries is poisonous for humans to eat. Again, the entire plant outside of the ripened cooked berries is poisonous to humans to eat. And eating the bark, the leaves, the roots, and unripe berries will make you nauseous, and it would develop severe stomach aches. So be aware of that when you overdo it. The just keep in mind you want it. Most people eat blue and black. Red elderberries are rare, rarely used. but these are known to be very helpful nutrients and ingredients for expectorants, which is coughing and sneezing. The next one, oh, let me show you that. This is how it looks. And this is star. That's the star fruit right there. Yellow star fruit. Look at that. That is so delicious. But remember, again, the very first thing that I did when I started off talking about the star fruit is that it is a sweet and sour fruit with edible skin and nutritional elements. And then it's also low in calories, it's high in fiber, and it's loaded with vitamin C. Now, you would think with all that, that's the perfect fruit. But if you have kidney problems, you may want to reconsider. So keep that in mind. Next is rhubarb. See that right there? This is rhubarb. You've probably seen rhubarb, and you have rhubarb in different pies, but the barks of this plant are used to or used in popular desserts such as the strawberry rhubarb pie. However, the leaves are high in oxalic acid, and oxalic acid is the same thing as oxalates. The oxalic acid, which can cause kidney problems. Okay, and remember those people that are eating the especially cooked spinach. When you're eating the cooked spinach, it can definitely threaten the health of your kidneys. Consuming a large number of these leaves can cause all sort of health problems like stomach aches, severe breathing problems, nausea, and ultimately death. Okay, I'll give you a couple of more. I know this is interesting because there's some of the things here are probably some things that you haven't heard before, which really makes it even more fun. The next on our list of the most dangerous or poisonous foods in the world is the sea buckthorn berries. The orange colored berries of this plant may look appealing. So I just want to show you that. See that? It may this may look appealing, and is they're very appealing, but they're also very toxic and should under no circumstances be eaten. Again, sea buckthorn berries under no circumstances should be eaten. The buckthorn plant is found in Canada, is found in East Asia, and within the temperate and subtropical regions of the northern hemisphere. When ingested, the plant can cause an inflammatory disorder of the peripheral nervous system. So it is beneficial to avoid the plant and its berries as much as possible. Don't do it. And I'm going to give you one more here. This is a winter berry. Now, the winter berry, see how beautiful this is? Nature is just so beautiful. Now, the winterberry is actually a shrub species that may be beneficial for wildlife food, but it is considered too poisonous for humans to eat. The bright red fruit is eaten by small mammals and more than 48 species of birds. You might mainly see this plant growing in the wetlands region, but they could also be found in the grassland. So with all that you got in you want to eat, if you just, I don't know, it's just say, hey, you know what, I just want to taste it and see, just one shouldn't be bad. That's what you want to go for, to eat one of these berries, you will find or you will suffer enormous health consequences. So winterberry will really put the hurting on you. So don't go, like, yeah, I'm going to eat and see what's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, ingesting the seeds and the leaves and the bark of the plant will cause you to develop nausea and low blood pressure. So if you do not want to acquire some of these problems, then do not eat these berries. Okay, I'm going to stop right there, everybody. This is so much fun. Oh, my goodness. I just I pray that what I've shared with you today are things that can make your life healthier, and your families and your friends, your loved ones. Make sure that they get the information. And if they haven't come on to our Mind of Nature show yet, let them come on. Invite them. We'd love to have them here. We work hard. It's a lot of research and a lot of fun bringing you the information. And because you're here, you make it even more important. So I'm going to turn it over to Karen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. And again, happy Labor Day weekend to everyone. Be safe out there. Yolanda saying, can't wait to see you. Been rounding folks up.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to speak to that too. I'm going to get you the addresses to the venues as soon as I get them. Glenn Johnson is helping me put it together. This is also produced by the My Purpose Productions. So I want to make sure that we get all the information to you, Yolanda. So don't worry. I will definitely do that. Okay.
That's it for me. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us here in the Mind of Nature. We are here every Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Dr. Zarif, back to you.
And thank you very much once again, everybody. Thank you for showing up today. Oh, excuse me. I love it when everybody comes in and partakes in this. We love you guys, and we are definitely going to keep going every Saturday. We're going to do it. Those of you that are still going up to Mount Tabor, those classes are discontinued, and we're doing other things now. But that was fun. We want to thank Michelle Franklin for the opportunity. We were there for, I think, 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you very much for that. 8 months was really, really great. And keep working out. That's what I have to say about that. Keep moving, move your body, stay in shape, and let's have a beautiful rest of our lives. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.